The NFL is filled with some of the world's most gifted athletes. But these guys are capable of a lot more than just tossing the pigskin. Plenty of football players have talents and hobbies that would shock you. Here are some weird things NFL players do off the field. We know Von Miller as one of the best blitzing linebackers in the NFL. But what most people don't realize is that this man's got a serious passion for poultry. Miller has a small chicken farm in California where he takes great pride in raising and loving a small coop of chickens. Von Miller knew he was destined for the NFL. However, he continued to earn his major in poultry science at Texas A&M University. The former Super Bowl champion says that caring for his feathered friends is a cathartic practice for him away from the football field. He doesn't eat his chickens, but he does eat their eggs. Not food nor profit is the reason he cares for his birds. He claims that he gets to know each of them as individuals and notices their different personalities. Shocking, right? We don't know exactly what to make of Miller's hobby, but we are happy for him and his coop of friends. Next is another defensive superstar that is very good at a sport that is nothing at all like football. Aaron Donald is widely considered the best defensive football player on the planet right now. And it's no surprise, just look at him. If the Incredible Hulk had a child with a world-class racehorse, it would probably look like Aaron Donald. So, you could imagine that off the field he would be a lumberjack or something, but he's not. Aaron Donald is secretly an amazing ping pong player. He showed off his skills on the show Hard Knocks, where he dominated his teammates on the table. We gotta say, that guy is a freak. Aaron Donald's talents might be surprising, but some guys are just gifted. Let's look at another former Defensive Player of the Year who could have gone pro playing an entirely different sport if he wanted to. When J.J. Watt was growing up in the state of Wisconsin, he was forced to make a tough decision. Did he want to become a football star or an ice hockey star? The kid was talented enough to dominate in either one, and the decision came down to the price he would have to pay for equipment. Since football equipment is cheaper than hockey equipment, Justin James Watt decided that he would make a career out of tutoring quarterbacks instead of goalies. We think he made a great choice. While Watt is sliding and swerving all over the ice, another JJ is busy swerving around on a boat. When wide receiver Julio Jones isn't catching footballs, he's busy catching fish. Jones's home is on Lake Lanier, Georgia, where he can catch fish that are sometimes over 30 pounds. Julio says that fishing has been his tranquil getaway from the football field since he was 8 years old. And he fries everything he catches and eats them with grits. Besides footballs, obviously. Clearly, these guys need to disconnect from the field sometimes. I can't imagine how hard you have to train in order to play in the NFL. The Commanders have a quarterback who now shares his off-season hobby with the rest of us. Carson Wentz made a TV show with his brother where he shows off his impressive skills as a hunter. And he's more accurate with his rifle than he is with his arm. Wentz hunts bucks with his brother Zach in his jog jersey up in North Dakota. Some fans have expressed their displeasure with Carson's favorite off-season activity, but the QB is having way too much fun to care. You can't make everyone happy, right? A number of NFL players love playing other sports and turn to nature in order to clear their minds. But that's not all football stars are capable of. You might not realize how many players are talented musicians. The Baltimore Ravens kicker is a supremely talented man. He's proven to be one of, if not the best kicker in the entire NFL, and can also sing the lights right out of a building. Justin Tucker is an incredible opera singer. The man has the voice of an angel. He can sing in English, Russian, Czech, Latin, Italian, French, German, and Spanish. This guy isn't just pretty good, he's incredible. He's received invitations to perform with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra as well as the New York Opera. Bravo, Tucker. Bravo. Tucker hits those high notes like 50-yard field goals, while Run CMC is as versatile with his instruments as he is as a running back. Christian McCaffrey is just an outstanding football player. He might be the most versatile player in the league, basically playing running back and wide receiver at the same time. Meanwhile, the guy has about as many notes in his repertoire as he's got jukes. McCaffrey can play many instruments, but his ability on the piano and the harmonica will blow you away. And he doesn't just love his music away from the football field. McCaffrey gets jacked up to piano music. He told Jimmy Fallon that his favorite pump-up track was Light of the Seven, a piano-based track from Game of Thrones. It's doubtful his teammates allow him control the Bluetooth speaker in the locker room. McCaffrey is pure talent, and his ability to play multiple instruments is just icing on the cake. Before him, there was another running back that could get jiggy on the piano. Marion Barber was nicknamed Marion the Barbarian because of his battering ram style that made him a successful running back for the Dallas Cowboys. However, his off-the-field lifestyle was far from barbaric. Barber had a deep love for classical music and was fantastic at playing his favorite songs on the piano. Marion Barber tragically passed away in 2022, but not before showing us all the many unsuspecting sides of his revered personality. What a legacy! Some of these guys are into the classics, but others are right up with the times when it comes to their musical skills. Check out this offensive lineman who hits the high notes harder than he hits blitzers. Philadelphia Eagles left tackle Jordan Milotta is an absolute beast on the football field. At 6'8" and 365 pounds, Milotta is one of the biggest men in the entire league and a force to be reckoned with. But he also has the ability to sing like a star. Milotta sings pop and R&B music and has compared his singing voice to Fergie. Though the two singers couldn't look more different, Milotta's comparison has some merit. He specializes in hitting high notes like a professional, as he showcased in the Eagles' Christmas album that he made with a couple of teammates. When music instructors from Delaware University heard the way he hits the highest of notes, they said they couldn't believe he wasn't a professional. When they say the best gifts come in small packages, they definitely weren't talking about Jordan Milotta. Talented musicians are found all over the field. The Seahawks have a wide receiver who can rhyme as quick as he can run. The Seahawks wideout Tyler Lockett loves rap music. He is most famous for catching deep balls, but once again is a player with talents that go beyond sports. Tyler Lockett is a nasty rapper. He can spit bars off the top of his head better than some rappers can with pen and paper. His natural talent has been something that he has been proud to show off since he entered the league. And he has only gotten better and better as he has aged. Up next, this player takes his love of the arts in another direction by opening his own art gallery. In his prime, Vernon Davis's size and skill he displayed for the 49ers was second to none. His painting ability is second to none as well. Vernon Davis is very active in the art community. He compares the process of making art to playing football. Though the two activities seem different, he draws direct parallels. He claims that it's all about finishing. Whether it's a painting or a root, it's all about the final touch. His gallery offers scholarship opportunities to aspiring artists and showcases talents of primarily underprivileged artists within his community. You've got to love hearing these stories of players who can live a fulfilling life after their playing careers are finished. So wholesome. Davis is a big-time believer in pursuing artistic avenues. He claims that his grandmother planted that seed and nurtured it within him for years. It's not just painting. He wants to inspire cooks, actors, musicians, all types of artists. The Ravens had a linebacker that seemed like one of the meanest players in the league, but he also is the best actor, which proves once again not to judge a book by its cover. Terrell Suggs is most famous for lining up on the edge of the Baltimore Ravens and tormenting opposing quarterbacks. When it's all said and done, he might become even more famous for his acting. This guy isn't just acting as a hobby, he is making a professional career out of it. It started with a few cameos in TV series such as The League and Ink Master, but he transitioned into a larger role in an HBO series called Ballers, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Since then, Suggs has expanded his skill set to include screenwriting and producing. He's very talented, and before you know it, T-Sizzle will be one of those faces that you will get very used to seeing on the big screen. Wow, the NFL is truly filled with gifted artists. We would have never guessed it. Would you believe it if I told you that there are highly intellectual players as well, with talents and interests in all sorts of faculties? Andrew Luck may have been one of the most intellectual men to play in the NFL. The Stanford graduate earned the nickname the NFL's unofficial librarian. He's he's read more books than the rest of us combined. To those that knew him well, it's not that surprising that this brainiac continued to pursue his love for literature after he surprised the league with his early retirement at age 29. Luck wasn't willing to compromise his brains with head injuries anymore. He had enough, and a life where he couldn't concentrate on his reading would have not been fulfilling for him. Instead, he took the money from his playing career and started an extremely famous book club. In some ways, Luck's passion isn't that unbelievable. His best attribute as a player was his football IQ. At number 7, we look at a quarterback known more for his athleticism than his mind, but clearly he is no dummy himself. Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray is an avid chess player. He picked up chess in the 4th grade and even won a tournament before he finished elementary school. In fact, Kyler Murray may very well be the best chess player in the entire NFL. He played against future Hall of Fame wideout Larry Fitzgerald and dominated him on the board. Murray claims that he always uses the same opening move. He moves his pawn 2 spaces in front of his king and then dials into all the different possibilities. He compares playing chess to his job on the football field in the sense that he is always planning a few plays ahead, making plays to set up another. It's an interesting strategy that shows that these guys aren't just trying to knock each other out on the field. Chess, literature, these players are impressive, but what this next offensive lineman has done with his career is truly unique. Laurent DuvernayTardiff is truly one of a kind. The 32-year-old French-Canadian received his doctorate in medicine and a master's degree in surgery from McGill University. In 2017, he signed a 5-year contract which earned him over $41 million for the Kansas City Chiefs to play on their offensive line. After winning a Super Bowl in the year 2020, DuvernayTardiff opted out of the 2020 to 2021 season to practice medicine where he felt he was more needed during the pandemic. After returning, he played in 8 games for the New York Jets before deciding to turn back to medicine to do his residency. It's been a unique career path for this player, but we admire his pursuit of medicine in order to help people, cause he clearly doesn't need the money. Absolutely incredible! I bet his teammates appreciated having his medical expertise close by while they were kicking each other's butts on the field. Next up, we take a look at a star quarterback who can also fly. Say what? Russell Wilson has tons of talent. We all know what he does on the football field. He has already earned himself a ticket into the Hall of Fame for his accomplishments in Seattle. But his abilities don't stop there. Wilson is a baseball player and maybe more impressively, flies a helicopter. In fact, Wilson used to go to play baseball for major league organizations during spring training and would fly himself there from Seattle. It's surprising that he finds so much time for these different endeavors, but Wilson claims that taking time to teach himself skills away from the football field gives him a much-needed mental break from the game. If you think flying a helicopter sounds risky, then you would be correct. Sammy Watkins is a risk taker too. That's why he loves to play poker. Sammy Watkins loves poker so much that it's actually got him into trouble during different stages of his career. When he was playing for Buffalo, he attended a poker tournament instead of team meetings. There was another incident when he was allegedly up all night playing poker online before game day. At least he made $6,500 playing that evening. On one hand, you hope that his love for poker doesn't compromise his NFL career, but on the other hand, you have to admire his ability to have multiple talents. Some people consider poker a sport. Is it? If so, we could call Watkins a 2-sport athlete. Another borderline 2-sport athlete is Boston Scott. If you consider video games a sport, then Eagles running back Boston Scott is a 2-sport athlete as well. Boston Scott recently signed to play for the Dignitas Rocket League team. He is also apparently exceptional at Fortnite. Boston Scott can juke and truck with the best of them. Apparently, he can also tap and click. Reflexes are probably the one thing that helps him excel in both sports. The world is really changing. Esports are a real big deal now. Some of the professionals have much bigger followings than your traditional athletes. Different people are entertained by all sorts of things. Some love esports, and some love the circus. So let's look at the NFL player who is fully loaded with circus skills. When AJ Green is done in the NFL, maybe he will join a traveling circus. He is more than capable. Green has shown off his ability to juggle and ride a unicycle. His juggling skills aren't that shocking. As a wide receiver, Green has amazing hands and coordination, which are skills necessary to juggling. The unicycle riding stuff is just crazy though. We would love to see AJ Green doing that. Sometimes there are some crossover skills that help players both on the field and within their off-the-field hobbies. However, we can't imagine how playing defense is at all like comic book sketching. Quinton Jefferson is a bruiser on the Seattle Seahawks defense, but as we have learned, that doesn't mean that he can't be into other things. Jefferson's crazy talent is his ability as a comic book sketcher. Jefferson is obsessed with Dragon Ball Z and comic books, and you should check out some of his cool drawings. Football isn't this guy's only gift. There you have it. Pretty weird what these guys are into away from the football field, don't you think? Subscribe and check out the other videos on your screen to watch more NFL-related content.